Excuse me. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Muhammad Al-Shibli. Today I will lead you in the SQL. First of all, I want to ask one question. What does it mean, SQL? Structural Query Language. This is a structural query language. As the professor said, we are mainly focused on the basic instructions on the in the SQL, especially in Oracle. We are using Oracle. I will be applying some instructions on the data show, and you will see it. And please try to follow me in each instruction that I do. We are mainly focused on two parts. Today we will focus on the DML, which is the data manipulation language, data manipulation, and data definition. First of all, we will focus on data definition. What does it mean, data definition? Data definition, it means when I try to define a data and create tables. For example, creating tables, manipulating these tables are called, and drop these tables is called the data definition. When I generate a table, I create it. It will allocate a size in the memory. So we will focus how to create a table, how to create a constraints, how to create public key, private key, primary key and foreign key, how to create these two types of key. Mainly you will use these instructions in your, there's a homework, there will be a homework. Also you will use these instructions in the project because you have a final project for this course, okay? Let's start in looking to the SQL. Each user, I think there's a username and password for each user in the Oracle, and you can access the Oracle in any PC in the university. You have to use your username and password, the regular username and password for your email to access the database. The domain is APUZ. And now I will start logging to the Oracle, okay? The first thing that is required, username and password. Mainly I have installed this Oracle on my machine, so for that there's a different username and password and domain, but it's same when you are trying to use it in your account. You have to use your username and your own password and the domain. Okay? Now I'm looking in the database, as you see, all of you. Here we see the command menu. Now this is SQL Plus release 10.2, product on the February. This is the date, and at the beginning, we will start with connected to Oracle Database 10G Enterprise. After I installed the 10G, now I'm logged in. If you see the screen, it means you are logged in. Please follow me in each step. All of you try to log in. Use your username and password. Yes. ABUZ. Everybody now, all of you now connected to the Oracle. I will go, yes. Now after logging in the SQL, there's a command called now. The first thing, if you are trying to change your password, the only thing you have to do is just type password. Okay? If you would like to change your password, just type password. Okay? And we'll ask you about the old password and the new password, and the confirmation for the new password. Okay? Now, when you are trying to change the password for Scott. I will type the old password, the new password, then retype the password again, and when the successful command password changed. Okay? ABUZ.
You don't have to change it.
You don't have to change it, but just in case if you would like to know how to change it. Okay? Make sure that the username and password, the username is that you are using for email, and the password is your student ID. Okay? Everything is clear? Now, as I said, we are working in the data definition and data manipulation. This is the material that the professor talked about that we have in this material we have 3 sections. The first section, which is introduction for tools that you may use. The second section is, as I said, for the data manipulation, and the third section for the data definition. And you can use, if you would like, you can go through all of them. Now we will go to the first section. First command, you have to know how to search for help in any command. For example, if you mistakenly write one of the commands, but there's an error or invalid operation, you can go through help and just put the command name, and it will show you all the parameters that you have to pass and how the whole shape of this instruction. Okay? Help on help, it will show you all the instructions that are available for the Oracle. Okay? Now, the first part is the data definition. Data definition, it means, as I said, how to create a table and how to add constraints or remove constraints. We will focus on the data definition. First of all, how to create a table. Let's create a small table. Column, create table. Let's name it store. Okay? This store contains the following. For example, store ID, which is number. First of all, there's another issue I have to mention. The data type, the main data type that used in the Oracle, there's the char, C-H-A-R, character, which means you reserve a character, or varchar, or varchar2. These 3 different data types for reserving characters. For number, there's data type called number. It will store double or float or integer. Okay? And there's date time, which is the system date time, and you can select the system date time anytime and you can use it as a parameter. Okay? The first thing is store ID, which is an ID for a specific store, any store. Not null is one of the constraints, which means you are not allowed to leave it blank. And we have to put the data type, first of all, the number. It means number. This is, you store only numbers. Okay? The next line will have, and we have to put a comma between each field. Okay? The next line is, for example, store name, which is varchar. Okay, we have to do that different data type, either varchar or varchar2. What's the difference between varchar and varchar2? Varchar will store characters and store it in the memory and will reserve it like static variable. Okay, this size is allocated. You can change it. It's not like a pointer dynamic array that expand or shrink as you want. When you create an varchar, dynamically will store it in the memory and it will allocate this size for this data type. The other one is varchar2, which is dynamically. It will shrink and expand based on the data type that you store it. For example, if I said I want to varchar2 of 50. Now, this means I want this string of 50 characters. But the main idea when I select varchar2, at the beginning it will not reserve this memory of 50 characters for this variable. Not like the varchar. The varchar will store it and will keep it reserved for this data type. This flexible. It will store an empty. It will mean like a pointer for a memory location without reserving this memory. The varchar will reserve this memory dynamic and will keep it fixed. Okay. Now these 15 characters I can store maximum to 15 characters. This is what does it mean of 50. Okay. Now. The other thing, for example, I would like to create a primary key. You know, as a primary key, it means this you should be a unique field. You can't make a duplication of the same data. How to create a primary key in Oracle? First of all, we write the name constraint. Now, we put the name of the constraint, which is, for example, PK, which is primary key for a store ID, space, then we type primary key, and brackets, and we store ID. Okay? This is one of the constraints that we should use it a lot, because connecting the tables together and creating the primary key and the foreign key is an important issue to make synchronization between the tables, and it will reduce the redundancy between the tables. Okay. For example, if I would like to create in the store, there's a branch of the stores. Okay. This branch should have all the information of the main store, right? For example, I have to markup. Okay. For example, I have, this is the store, the main store, and I have a branch of this store. This branch should contains all the information of this store. But instead of copying all the information, I will create a foreign key to connect the branch with the main store. So I created the primary key, the store ID, and I will refer this to this primary key in the branch. So these two tables will be connected. Okay? At the end, we have to put a semicolon. Oh, sorry, I have already a table called. Another command, for example, we have an error here by mistake because I have already this table and I want to edit this information. I don't want to rewrite the same command all the time. So I type edit. It will show all the instructions that I already typed. I remove this one. Okay. Now the second instruction that I will drop the table. Okay, now the table is created successfully. As you see, this command create. I have to change the table name because I have already a database called a table called the store and has primary key and foreign key connected with another database with another table. So I changed the name of the table to store full. Okay, another name. I select the name based on randomly as I wish. So now I created a table. This table I will use it to insert and information inside it and to retrieve it. Now insertion and retrieve the data and manipulation of the data, we will talk about it in the manipulation section. But this is what we call the data definition. I defined the database, I defined the table. So I have now table called store file. Okay, if I would like any time to see all the fields in the store file, but I have to write the following command, which is DESC or description. Okay, then I have to type the store, the table name. Okay. Is it clear? Yeah. You can just think of the I will show you how to do it. Now, you select these. At the same time, when you are selecting, you just right. Left click, then right click. At the same time, we copy the data. Now, You are missing one of the practice. Okay. Yes. Yeah, missing right parentheses. Yeah. Yeah. There's a problem here in that. Excuse me. When you try to edit here, there's a problem. You can't open the editing file because there's some rules and restrictions maybe in this file. But you can use another way. That's one I will show you for all of you. There's another way to copy the last lines that you are using. For example, first of all, use the left button on the mouse, highlight any section that you would like, and then at the same time while you are clicking the left click the right one. It will copy this to new command, to the new command, so you can modify it. Is it clear? Excuse me, is it clear? Okay. Now, I will redo it again. I will use first of all the left click on the mouse. And you will select a specific line or more than one line. At the same time, click on the right click. Same time, while you are clicking on the left, click on the right. It will copy the line that you are selected on new command. Okay? Okay? So, for example, if sometimes you have a problems in the editing file, you have to use this way, for example. Okay? Yeah, because you are copying these numbers also. Create table. You are missing the comment. Then date of birth, you can write it as the following. The naming of the variable, you have to make sure it's one syllable and you can't put it more than one syllable. So date of birth, 3 syllables. You have to use in the between, for example, date underscore of underscore birth. You can't use it directly, date of birth, because it will give you an error. Now we have created the table, but we want to add more to. For example, we need to add more records. Okay, we need to add one more field. So for that, we say alter table store full. Okay, add. What's the field name?
You cannot see. You bring it upstairs. You bring it up.
I will show it when I execute the command. Okay, I will make an edit for it so you can see it. Alright, let's say address varchar 2 of 100. This command, alter table, you can use it to add either constraints. You can add constraints. Alter table, add constraints. Or alter table, modify. If you have one field and you want to change the data type of this field, or you expand this data type. Alter table, the table name. This is fixed command. Then after that, add, because I'm trying to add a new field, okay? Add field name and the data type. The same command we can use it, alter table, the same table name, add, for example, constraints. Constraints mean any restriction rules, okay? If you are trying to add a primary key, add constraints, the same syntax that we use in the creating table. Okay, is it clear? Any questions? Any questions? No more questions. Let's go. Now, the next thing. After each instruction, at the end of each instruction, you have to put semicolon. Okay? Semicolon means the end of instruction, so you allow the compiler of Oracle to execute the command. Okay? Now, the next thing, I have added a table, I have created a table, I have modified the table and added a record. Now, what if let's see what have changed in this table. As you see, when I added the address, it's attached to the table that already I created. Okay? The next instruction, what if I want to delete the whole table? Now, the next stage for manipulation and data definition, the data definition is how to delete the table. Drop table. Now, after executing this command, it should be dropped and should be removed from the database.
Drop table?
Drop table and the table name. Now I have deleted that table. As you see, table dropped. Now, after executing any commands, to make sure that all the procedures that you did is saved on the database, you have one command which is called commit. Commit, it means all the changes that I did up to now, I certify you to keep it and store it in your memory. Commit. Okay, there's another command if you would like to go back and undo your changes. It's called rollback. Okay? Rollback, which is to undo all your commands. You will find all these instructions already on the instruction manual. Let's go through the instruction manual. If you have any questions, please ask now. Now, this is the first instruction, how to create a table. Let's do it. Create a table employee. I copy all the instructions. I will edit. The thing that you can't keep these numbers. These numbers is illegal. So we have to remove these numbers. The Oracle is not case sensitive, So if you write it uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter. If you write a command in uppercase or lowercase, there's no difference. Okay? There's some restriction on all the machines. I have seen it. Maybe when you are working on your own machine, you can edit and you can modify anything. Now, for the homeworks, there's one note. For the homeworks, you have only to copy all the instruction and put it in text file. Okay? Not document. No need for screenshot. Just copy the command after executing it and put it in the text file. Okay?
Do you mean that screen?
No. Yes, you have to copy this data. This text, copy it and put it in separate text file. You can put all the commands together at the same text file, no problem. Okay? No need for screenshot. Okay? If the command is running well, don't worry, no need for screenshot. Now let's try this command.
Let's create tables in this session.
Excuse me? Okay. This in page 29. This command in page 29. You will find it in 29. Now, pause, save. Now, for example, I created now a table called employee info. I just copied the instruction and pasted it on the Oracle, and I executed it, and I created the table, okay? Now, these are the main instructions how to create a table. First of all, create table, the table name. Please, excuse me. I create the table, create table, and the table name. Now, this example show you how to create a table from selecting from another table. For example, I have one table and I want to duplicate it. I make a copy of this table in different table name. This instruction allow you to create a table as, for example, create table employee department 1 as select first name, middle name, and last name, and birth date from employee, where department number equal now, not equal 1. What does this instruction mean? It means create another table for a specific department called 1. Give me all the first name, second name, and last name, and the date of birth for all employees who's working in a department called department number 1. So when this table generated, it will create a table, and it will store all the information of the users who's working in the department number 1. Okay? Is this clear, this instruction? Excuse me. Is it clear? Okay. Now, this is another instruction how to delete the table and use the commands to drop table employee. Now, these are the constraints, the two main constraints that we are working on. How to create a primary key and a foreign key, as we said. The primary key is for the parent table, and the foreign key is for the child table. And this child table will reference to a specific record in the other table. How to create it? Constraints, primary key, the employee number, which is the primary key that I would like to create, for example, the employee number as a primary key for this table. And then this is a reserved keyword, primary key. And this is between the brackets we have the SSN, which is the social security number. Okay. For creating the foreign key, we use the same command, but there's a few changes. Constraints and the name of the constraints, foreign key, which is already reserved, department number, reference to department number, which means this table and this record field is connected to the department number. Now, what does it mean on delete cascade? On delete cascade is a command used when I delete any record. When I delete this record, it will change and reflect on all the tables, and it will delete all the records that are related to this table, to this record. Okay? For example, if I have a company, I have an employee, and on the other hand, I have all the dependent. Okay? There's a relation between the employee and the dependent. Okay? If I delete the employee, I should delete all the dependent. When I use this command on cascade, delete, when I delete the primary key, all the foreign keys related to this primary key will be deleted. Now, there's another cascading, which is called on delete update. Okay? And I set a value. For example, if I created an employee, but I would like to keep the information of all the employee dependent, on delete, update, and I put a default value. For example, 1 as or -1. It means this deleted. But I will keep and store all the main information, the employee number and all this information. It will be stored. Okay? Is it clear? Any questions? Questions? Okay. Try to apply this one. Yes. No. But I will show you another. Now, one of the questions he asked, I created a table, but I have to add the constraints. How can I add the constraints? We use the command that I showed previously, which is alter table, the table name, add constraints, and you complete the same command. For example, this foreign key, I will add, just put add, alter table, and the table name, then add, and continue this. Use this command, and it will add this constraint on the table. Okay? Try it. Done? Have you finished applying the, okay. Now, now, for example, if I ask give you specific rules to do, now just put all the instructions in one text file. When I execute it, I will see all the reaction of the system. So if everything executed clearly and no problem, it means you're done. No need for start. Okay?
It's one line. It's one line.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yes.
It's one with it's long one. So 15 and 16. 15 and 16. Should be two lines. Is this one?
Oh, yeah, the department is the department. Okay. Yes. Another issue, when you are trying to create a constraint, for example, for the department number, as you see, department, so it will give you an issue that there's no reference to table, the table department does not exist. Yes, because you haven't created yet. You have to create the department and you have to create the employee, then you have to add the constraints. Okay? Is it clear? Yes. Sorry. Yeah. After table. No, you already put the table department. Yes. Constraints. You have added, okay, the table and what you can see it is show only the null value.
Yeah,
But I think there's another way to show all the descriptions of the table. You can find this in the first section. Yeah, description. Show the information of the field and the last type of each position. Okay? Yes. After table
assignment, once I can, and reverse it, more assignment, and table, some from assignment,
But maybe change this.
Yeah, because you change it, maybe this time all material assignment or something, that means there's some or not from assignment. Consumer assignment, but not 100%. That's it, that's the thing. So there is some line. Yeah, it's like fine. But it's 3, not 2.
As all of you see, it's important to first of all create the table, then add all the constraints, required constraints, okay? Now, this is the section which we call the data definition line. I define the table, I create the relation between the tables, I alter the table, and I added all the required constraints, okay? Now, have you finished this question? Okay. This is the section for how to modify the table, how to alter the table and add constraints or add new field. Okay. As you see, the next line, this line shows alter table employee department 1, modify the manager to varchar 15. Now, I change the data type. I expand the size of the data type of this field from 5 characters to 15 characters. Okay? So, how to modify it without deleting this record and adding it again? Just modify. Okay. And this, which is the description, it will show you all the information regarding this table. Now, as you are going through this instructions, we will find out how to create an index. There's what we call an indexing. Try it. And there's another thing which is called the view. View is important for the I think for your homework and for your project. What does it mean, view? What's the difference between view and the table? Okay, the view, it's an SQL command which allows you to see a specific information in the table. You don't want to see all the information in this table, but you would like to see a specific information. For example, I have an employee, all employee information. For let's say for the human resource, it doesn't matter if if he's married or not. Let's say it doesn't matter if he to know what's his salary now, right? The manager, he would like to know all the information about the first name and the second name and the last name and which department this user working on. No need to show how much salary he gets, how many child he has, right? These are not an important information for this manager. For that, we create a view. How to create a view? We type the command create or replace view, view name as select. Now, as you see, this command create or replace view. Sometimes you have to write create or replace because sometimes you already created this view, so you have to delete it and recreate it again. But you don't know. Sometimes you don't know if this view already exists or not. Just unconscious, you have to make sure that create or replace, or sometimes create or replace view, the view name, create or replace view, and then the view name. After that, select what are the fields that I would like to see, or what are the information that I would like to see in the view. Select, for example, the department number, the department name, and the manager social security number, and the last name and the first name. Now, I would like to see all the managers, all the information of the managers, okay? And then from where? From the employee and the department, where the employee social security number equal department dot manager social security number. It means I would like to see all the managers' information in this department. Okay? This view will show the specific information, this information only. The department and the department name and the manager social security number and last name and first name. Okay. Manager social security number, it means he's the manager of this department. Okay? Try it. Okay. Good now? Is it clear now? Okay. Do you have any questions? Mostly it will not work because you have to have the department number, the department and the employee table. You have to have two tables. The first one is department and the employee. Okay? Let me show you another example of the view. Okay, this view, the department average salary as select department number and department name, and average salary as average salary from department employee, where employee dot department number equal department dot department number. Let me smaller. Okay. Can you see it now? Okay. This is a view, sorry.